See, when I do the countdown, I get in trouble. I'm sitting here with my countdown like 5, 4, 3, 2, and then the FBI comes knocking at my door.
What is it you pray for?
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the 126th episode of Abyssal Musings. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and with me, as always, is my inimitable co-host, Lawrence Knight.
Salutations and greetings.
Yeah. I've just discovered that I just like saying the word inimitable. It's like a little tongue twister in one word, and it's just fun to say. So I'm going to start using that a lot. Yeah, greetings, welcome to the show. So we did push it back about 10 minutes. There were some things going on, or about 5 minutes later than planned, but you know how it is. It's a technical issue. It's this channel. It's my channel. It's my internet. It's all that. So you guys are used to it by now. It'll be fine. Anyhow, we are live currently on Twix, YouTube, and Rumble. So if you're in any of those places, please do drop something in the chat so that we know you're here. And with that said, I'm going to get started saying hello to the chat before we get into tonight's show. We've got Lepo with us. Good to see you, Lepo. Beak, how you doing? We have Aaron Laura with us tonight. Good to see you. Old Blindy, welcome in, buddy. Jacob Gallo, hello. We also have oh no, that might be I'm sorry, I almost skipped you again, dude. I did not mean to. Hi, Zilich, welcome in. I think that's everybody so far. As you guys come in, we'll bring something up on the screen so that you see that we see you, as I said earlier. Anyhow, obviously I sound like I'm off my game. I am a little bit. It's the allergy season and pressure shifts and all kinds of fun weather related phenomena. It's making various joints like swell and contract, and it's been a fun day. But I do have one tiny little bit of amazingness that happened to me this week, Larry.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Just the one thing, but it made my whole week.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's what I sent you.
No, actually, that's not it. That I'm actually like that's good, but it's like I don't think that it makes a difference as to anything that really matters. But no, the people for the ethical treatment of animals blocked me on Twitter.
Wait a minute. You're prioritizing that.
PETA.
You're prioritizing you being blocked by, and I know about that too. You're prioritizing you being blocked by PETA over Charles Schwab, the
Klaus.
or Klaus Schwab, whatever. Charles, I keep confusing him with the guy that waxes cars. But the demon of the WEF being investigated by his own creation, basically for stealing money, for fraud.
Yeah, no. Honestly, I don't think that changes anything as far as what the WF does and is. It's like, yeah, he's in trouble, but that was bound to happen sooner or later. We all knew that a lot of those guys were stealing.
Well, no, you're missing the point. It's the point that things are changing over there because they found out that a lot of the funding for WSB for WWTF, I'll just call them WTF. But a lot of the funding from them was coming from U.S. aid, and now that funding has been stripped. So they've been severely crippled. From the reports that I've been reading, is they're hurting bad. And I think what happened is once Trump shut down U.S. aid, they were forced to really look, budget and look at where the money was going, and they realized that this man has been stealing from them, him and his wife. Because they launched an investigation, but they've got him dead to rights. They were able to trace everything he was doing, right down to him getting, quote, massages in hotel rooms.
Yeah.
They know everything he did.
On the massage note, I think the less that we, the public, knows about that, the better. I've already seen way too much of that man naked. You know?
What?
Nude beaches in Europe. It's a thing. Anyway, there's photographs
Oh
of them out there.
no!
Yeah, it's pretty.
What
It's
were
pretty
you doing?
horrendous.
What
I
were you
wasn't.
doing?
It comes up when you search his name. Yeah.
That's
So
bad. I'm not even gonna test that.
yeah, it's out there, and there's like that my favorite image of him is where he's all dressed up like he's a freaking Sith Lord.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah. Apparently, that's just the outerwear. The underwear has like a corset. So anyway, I've already seen way too much of that man's body, but I don't need to know more about his private activities, whether he's using embezzled funds or his own or whatever. But yeah, no, I mean that's a good news. But look at the scale here, right? So PETA is a pretty large organization, right? They're very widely recognized. The WEF obviously is a much bigger scale organization. They're a lot less likely to even notice me. I was just shocked that PETA, finally got sick of the fact that I've been harassing them for a year and a half on social media.
You've been messing with them for a year and a half.
Yeah, and it took them this long to block my ass. So, like with charts and graphs and the fact that their organization alone kills more than all other shelters, public and private combined in certain states.
On purpose or by accident?
Oh, on purpose. Yeah. No, they got factories for killing puppies. Yeah. They're not good. And then they have the gall to go out and say like, well, how dare you guys treat animals like so poorly? How dare you eat animals? I was like, you're wasting, like, even if puppies weren't like cute like pet animals in the West, you're wasting food because they just kill them and incinerate them.
But I bet if they were doing it to cats, you'd give them an award. You'd probably even donate money to that.
They do it to cats too, man. So
Well, what I'm saying is, if it was
no,
just
not
cats, you wouldn't have had a problem with them. Hey, Selena.
Yeah, no, I actually would. Like, as much as I don't like cats, I'm not for needlessly killing things that don't need it.
So in other words, Gal's
or
right.
cruelty.
You do love cats. So you do love
Didn't
cats.
no, that's that. No, you're putting fucking words in my mouth. No, that's not.
I
What
didn't
said.
put those
said
kind
I
of
don't
words in
like
your
cats.
mouth.
I'm just not.
Yes,
you absolutely did.
Did I mention you having sex with
just
cats?
turned it around. That's a very leftist tactic, buddy.
I didn't say
it's like, oh, you said this, so that means that.
No, I asked a question.
I don't like cats.
I asked questions, and you turned it into something sexual. I didn't say that you were sexually attracted to cats. I just said that you love
I didn't
cats.
say anything about sex. Where did that come from? That's
you
new.
said effing cats. I never said that. You said that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You turned it into something sexual.
Anyway, moving on. I had a win, and Larry decided to make it like gross and weird. So moving on.
You did it.
So no, I'm fully blaming you, and I think chat's with me on this. So.
Yeah, nice try. But you're the one that said effing cats. I never said that. All I was saying is Gal was right. You do love cats. You like cats. And cats
Which, again,
like you.
is a lie.
So you were lying when you told me that cats always walk up to you.
Let me finish the fucking sentence. I'm not.
Well, you cut me off too.
I know, because you're saying bullshit.
No,
That's
I'm not.
not true. I don't love cats.
You didn't say
I just
that.
don't see the point in killing things unnecessarily.
Well, no, I appreciate that sentiment. It's just that you always talk about how much you hate cats, and then you say this, and now you're showing that you care. So that tells me that you actually don't hate cats. And you told me that cats always come up to you all the time. Animals know when somebody doesn't like them.
Oh no, I know. They do. They do this too. I'm not the only person, dude. There are plenty of people out there who can't stand the little bastards, and they will come up to you deliberately because they know you hate them. And they'll put their scent all over you just because they know it's gonna fucking make you angry. Because they're evil. Hi, Vord. Good to see you.
I don't even know how to follow up. I don't even know how to follow up with that. Oh man. They put their little scent on it. The little bastards, but they rub their little scent all over you. And there's nothing you can do
Ugh.
about it.
Anyway, welcome to the show, folks.
Uh,
Good start.
I'd have dropped my cat over at your house. I'll bring Moonshine over, let her meow on you.
Yeah, no.
She's half Siamese. You'll love her.
Siamese are the worst.
She's got little black tips on her paws, so it looks like she's wearing heels.
Yeah, okay.
You'll like that. You put a dress on her.
I
Since
don't
you love
care.
cats, you put a dress on her. Y'all can go out.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It'll work.
So anyhow, what's on the agenda tonight, man?
So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is a surprise quiz night. So no, I didn't put together a quiz. What Sam and I have discussed, things that we're adding to the lineup, and I thought, you know what, I've always enjoyed sitting down and being able to do a quiz that I didn't make up, and so every once in a while we're gonna do these, where we're gonna pop up and have a quiz, and I'm gonna be able to participate myself. So I found a couple of websites. Was like, let me look up and see see some websites out there that's got different kinds of quizzes and things that we can do. So I found two, Sammy. I found one from the Britannica.com, and then there's one called Fun Trivia. Plenty of stuff for us to choose from. So the only question is, what are we in the mood for?
I'm good with just about anything, man. I think I don't know if we're gonna top that little spat, but
What little spat?
Never mind. Anyway, wait, what? What? What
It-
do you mean anal? Furries?
Didn't you wait a minute? Hey Sam, didn't you used to date a furry?
Stop it, chat.
Didn't you used to
No.
date a furry?
No,
Somebody I know used to date a furry. Wasn't that you?
it wasn't me. No,
What the hell was that?
furries are weird.
Maybe it was Dermy. Somebody I know
I mean,
used to date a furry.
I don't think so, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Everybody, when in doubt, blame Dermy. Everybody blames Dermy for something. They blame Dermy for existing. If it's raining outside, it's Dermy's fault. But no, I'm not even joking about that. Somebody I know used to date a furry, and I can't remember who it was. But in any event, before we start, uh, I owe for those of you in the chat, I owe you guys an apology. Now, last week I was a little off. I know there was some long pauses while I was speaking. Um, so I've been in training for my new job for the last. I just finished it up today and started last week. Well, last Friday I was beat, and we had Adam Renaissance Nerd on. And what ended up happening is we did the show, and then Saturday afternoon I had to call Sam and ask him what the show was about because I fell asleep about 5 minutes into the show. I did the entire show asleep. So the whole time I had to go back and look at what I was saying. When I was talking, when I was doing the presentation and all that stuff, I was dead asleep. I was dreaming and everything. When I woke up, the show was over. And it was an hour later. And I was still
Yep.
sitting in my chair.
Yeah, it was so like this should have been my first clue because you don't really do much in the way of drinking and whatnot. You did sound a little slurred and a little slower, like you had been drinking, but I was like, it just didn't click with me. But um, I figured you were with us because you were giving coherent answers to questions and like participating actively in the conversation, just at like a lower gear or whatever. And so I didn't think too much of it. And so chat when Larry called me the next day and he's like, yeah, so how did the show go? I was like, you were there. And he's like, yeah, I don't remember anything.
I'm 47, Aaron. But
Yeah.
yeah, but normally, I
And
mean, hell,
this isn't even the first time.
this is not the first time. There was one time during our first year, I was so tired because I was running around doing stuff all day that I tricked Sam into doing a monologue, and I went to sleep. And when I woke up seconds before he asked me, "So Larry, what do you have in store this week?" I
Yep.
was, I think Clue was on. I think Clue was on the panel with us, and I was just like, "I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna." I was fading, and I was like, "Hey Sam, what do you think about this?" Boom.
Yeah. I think
I was
if you go
out.
back, because it was early days. So if you go back to because we used to do this show on Thursday nights, and when we and for I think for the first like 2 months or so, and then when we transitioned over to Friday nights, um, there was a period of adjustment for Larry where he was like, juggling new job duties with doing this, with doing stuff on Amir's channel with his family, with all that, and he wasn't sleeping. So when he got on the panel, he'd just pick a topic he knew I would just go off about, and he'd just crash for a couple of episodes.
Yeah, I was out. I felt so bad. I just knew I was like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna. Hey Sam, what do you think about this? Oh, well, during back in 1948 when mice were dating fit goldfish, and I would
Yeah.
just be out. I remember. Yeah, I definitely went through. I definitely went through it. Oh, hey,
What's up?
Welcome in.
you all
We're
right?
just talking about how Larry
Hmm.
likes to sleep through shows.
Yeah, you missed it last week.
Yeah. Well, not
I
much
heard
I
you
can
had.
do.
No, it was
I heard. I heard you had quite the week last week. Beelzebub, Beelzebub,
Like how?
Azazel, whichever name you prefer.
No, I mean,
I call you all the
it's
demons' names.
just drunk a couple times. Not much else.
Uh,
Oh
you,
yeah.
you,
No,
you know what?
you know what you missed though.
Good.
Sorry. You know what you missed in case you hadn't been listening to the last 5 minutes of this show. So we did the Thing topic last week, both the 82 movie and the 2011 movie, and Larry was participating in the conversation actively the entire time, and apparently
Mhm.
he was asleep the entire time.
Yeah, I had to like Saturday afternoon. I had to call Sam and ask him what the show was about because the last thing I remember is him greeting the chat and then introducing Adam Renaissance Nerd. Next thing I knew, it was an hour later. The show was over, and I was still sitting in my chair. I don't remember anything else. I was out. I was dreaming and everything. I was completely out. I don't remember anything Adam said. Nothing. But I was talking, and I went back and listened to it, and Sam was just saying it sounded like I was drunk because there was pauses, and it did sound like I'm like I might have had a beer or two, or a or a shot of some good whiskey, something. But I was answering and participating, and I was asleep.
Wha- That's so you were sleep talking, but you were like
Yep.
answering. My
Yeah.
friend, I used to have a friend called Jaime. Lived with him for a couple months. Freaking dude would talk in his sleep all the time. Like I'd be sitting there playing video games, and he'd be passed down the couch, and he would just look at me, and like and it was kind of weird because it was kind of profound. I remember one time I was sitting there and playing, and I was saying, just looks at me, and goes, "Chinese checkers is an endless game," and then like turns back and falls back to sleep. I'm all like, okay. And then another time he wakes up and looks at me and goes, all hungry people should be fed. Does the same damn thing, just passes out. I was all like, what the fuck is wrong? What's going on in his head as he's sleeping? That this is the shit that comes up. But man,
Yeah.
teach their own.
Yeah. You know what? When I was at basic training, we had a guy. I wish I could remember the guy's name, but I wouldn't embarrass him anyway. But he talked like this. Well, almost, it was his voice was almost, it was almost feminine, right? and he would sleepwalk and he would sleep talk. And so when you've got a guy who is 6'7", 250 pounds, not only is this guy sleepwalking, he'd get up, walk around, hey everybody. And that's exactly how he sounded, right?
Kind of like Mr. Bill from
This
Saturday Night Live.
Oh
this guy would reenact war films. So each when he fell asleep, when he started sleepwalking, he thought that we were in the middle of a war. So everybody be laying down, all of a sudden, get down, and he would jump out of his bed and start. I kid you not, this is not exaggeration. He would do battle rolls on the floor and then start throwing pillows at us because he thought they were grenades. Get down, put it down. And he would just start throwing pillows and stuff. We're like, what the hell? And then he's, and he looked like a monster. His eyes would be all big and they'd be glassed over. And he'd get to start running sprints around the bay. And we were just like, what the, we were like, well, somebody need to stop him. And then he'd have his little, he'd have his rifle that didn't exist. Get down! I got him. Then he would take cover.
Oh shit on that, man.
Yeah,
I'd strap him down to the bed and like start to interrogate him to really play into it.
we did.
Tell us where the enemy positions are.
Man,
How many are you?
Yeah.
What is your armament?
Are the Jews underneath the floor?
We did that one night. That was a big mistake. Homeboy hulked out of it. Hulked out on us. And so we were like, okay. So it got to the point where eventually we were like, the whole bay. Now there were 63 people in our bay. And we were like, we waited till he was taking a shower. And we were like, hey, we need to figure out something because we can't go to sleep and have this fool grab something and beat one of us to death. He's too damn big. He's the biggest guy in the bay. So we sat by. So we were like, okay, well, we're all gonna sit and wait when he goes to sleep and wait a few minutes to make sure that it's safe for us to go to sleep. So everybody's gathered around him. We're just waiting for him to jump up, and all of a sudden we hear, and then he stops and he goes, "What the hell are you guys doing? Why aren't you in the bed? What were you doing?" And
Did
we
he
were
seriously
like,
sound like Mr. Bill?
Yes.
Jesus.
yes. Yeah, he did. Are you messing with me? You want to push the envelope? Who's first? And we were just like, what the hell? We were like, look, man, we need to make sure that you're not going to kill us in our sleep. He was like, well, what are you talking about? He said, we keep telling you that you're sleepwalking. You're reenacting war movies, man. You're thinking that you're taking cover. You're throwing pillows at us like they're grenades, jumping on the ground, shooting at us, with a rifle that you don't even have in your hands. So we had to. It was just. I mean, it was funny, but the whole time, the whole 9 weeks that we were there, we had to. You had to sleep with one eye open because we just did not know what that guy was going to do.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of relate to that. When I was 19, I used to live with the guy I was good friends with, but he had a couple of issues. Are you familiar with what schizoaffective disorder is?
No.
So, it's similar to multiple personality disorder, which they don't call it that anymore. I forget what it is, but it's like dissociative identity disorder or something now. But except it comes with grand mal epileptic type seizures in between transitions. So, like, not only do you not know who you're talking to minute, but when they shift over, you could watch your friend choke on his own tongue and break his back with a seizure. So we ended up spending a lot of time, and sometimes it was just me, and the guy outweighed me by a fair amount. He was solid muscle. I was just a skinny twig of a kid, and I would have to hold him down and make sure he didn't hurt himself or anybody else, because he'd black out and he'd freak out and he'd grab a steak knife out of the sink and start slashing it at the air. And I mean, it was pretty rough, I actually have scars on my right arm from that exact incident that I was talking about. I just brought up with the steak knife.
Mm.
So, yeah, yeah, Zilla, just similar to schizophrenia. Like there are multiple personalities, but it comes with like added psychoses and breaks from reality, and like I said, the grand mal seizures, which are freaking horrifying. And he was on every antipsychotic, anti-seizure medication known to man. You know, it was pretty rough.
Is that safe?
Klonopin, Serozolam. No,
Is that
not at
safe for
all.
him to
But it
be
was
on
the
that much
90s.
stuff?
Definitely wasn't safe for Sam.
No,
Yeah. You know what? On a serious note, those types of drugs. I don't know why Ambien comes to mind. I don't think Ambien is one of them that I'm talking about. But those drugs are no joke. I remember my mother she had surgery, and she was taking, so I wish I could remember what drug it was, but she got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, got dressed to go to work, and my sister comes in and she's knocking on my door. She's like, Larry, you need to come out. I'm like, what the hell's going on? She's like, Mom's dressed and is going to work. And I was like, what? And I went in there. I said, where are you going? She said, I'm going to work. I said, you haven't worked in 15 years. You're medically retired. And she just broke down in tears. The next morning when she woke up, she didn't remember any of it.
I'm on Ambien. Doesn't do that to me.
Yeah, I don't think it was Ambien, but it definitely wasn't. A matter of fact, from what I'm thinking. But there's some stuff out there that's got people doing all kinds of things, and for this guy to be on what he was on, yeah, Sam, you're lucky to be alive.
yeah. I mean, he's gotten better help since then, and he's in a better place. There's been not I don't know if it's been a total merging of personalities, but a lot of them were absorbed into like the primary one, which was the original. But and he went through a lot of shit. That's why he was the way he was. And in fact, this is like I knew all of these people living in that one head. So some of them, like I got along great with. Some of them I'd very much prefer to deal with over others. Some of them were psychotic, and at least one didn't speak any English at all. So
What? No, what the hell? What was he speaking?
Tagalog or something. I don't know, some fucking South,
Tagalog?
East Asian island dialect. I don't know. Yeah, something I don't speak at all. So
Mm,
Did the guy know the language when he was him?
no, not at all.
mm.
Then how the hell was he
At
speaking
least,
Tagalog?
at least now we've established. Good.
Oh, there's documentation on this where different personalities in a case like this will have different needs and different abilities. Like one of them will need glasses, one of them will need insulin, but they don't both need it. And it's weird how that works. It's kind of a mind over matter thing, I think, but they don't really know exactly how that is, how that works. They just know that it does happen. So yeah, no, it's not uncommon for a person like that. Even though it is uncommon for people to be like that, it's not uncommon for those like it to manifest different traits with different personalities that the other personalities do not exhibit.
Man, that's scary, especially if you have a split situation, like that movie where where Edward Norton's with one of his characters, not Edward Norton, whoever the
It's
James
James McAvoy.
McAvoy, yeah, where
Yeah.
that one personality has super strength and all that. I'm like,
The Beast.
yeah,
Yeah, but there was also that one who needed insulin shots, but none of the other ones did. So yeah, and that movie is not 100% accurate, but it does bring to light certain things that are just generally not talked about, because a lot of the medical community would, and we're not doctors, YouTube, so take it with a grain of salt. But
I am.
a lot of the medical and psychological community refuse to even acknowledge that this is a thing. And so it does talk about that. It also brings up specific real world cases in that movie, and which I thought was pretty cool. But otherwise, yeah, it's kind of like that kind of that's more of a I guess a clean split, because the shifting between personalities in that movie was exhibited as like extremely rapid and smooth, right? It's not always like that. Sometimes you, like with the schizoaffectives, you get these seizures, you get these blackouts and these rages. Sometimes they just go like limp for a while. and then you don't know who's going to wake up, kind of thing. So, yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's a messy thing, but it is very real. Anybody tells you it's not is either blind to it or lying.
alrighty.
So, but
Well, I guess are we going to move forward? So so tonight, Mr. Devil, because I screwed up, we were gonna do part one of Monsters Ball, which was gonna be Q from Star Trek. And I was gonna put him against Pinhead, and I called Sam and I said, hey, we're gonna focus on Q this week, and then part two will be next week. And he goes, Pinhead can't beat Q. So I'm on my way out. I'm on my way to get food, and we're in a debate all the way there and all the way back. And I said, okay, all right. Let me go back and check and look and see, who can I pair him up against in round two. Quickly realized that a lot of them are not going to beat Q in a straight up fight. There are some that are on there, but they haven't even battled yet.
Yeah, the only thing you can put up against a omnipotent being is another omnipotent being. I mean, if Q can literally eliminate stuff by a snap, what fight do you have, right?
Yeah, and honestly,
yeah.
unfortunately, I may have to remove him altogether because there aren't many beings out there that can do it. Now, we do know, Qs can die, but it takes more than one. Like a team of them have to team up and kill them. Qs have died in Star Trek. Not just the main Q that we know. He died in Picard season 2, but there was a female Q in the Next Generation where she was talking about her parents were died. They were
They were
hitting her
killed
house.
by the Qs
Yeah, but it takes the whole. I don't know how many of them, but they was.
collective.
Yeah, it takes the whole collective to do it. So it would have to be somebody as powerful as the collective to take somebody out. And I don't know if there's anybody out there that's strong.
Aaron Lore, no, because Jesus is a bitch. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, of course you're gonna say that. Of course you're gonna say that.
He's a baby. I swear. He used to give the shithead noogies.
But but yeah. So I was like, okay, we were gonna talk about Q for a bit, and then we're gonna do a quiz, and then we was like, you know what, let's just do the quiz. Let's just do the quizzes tonight. um I didn't create them, so I'll be participating, and we're like, let's just talk a bit and have fun. So I've got some quizzes uh from the Britannica, and then we've got one from another quiz site, so we can kind of alternate them if you guys are fine with that. Um, 50 states, 50 fun facts. What do you guys think about that one?
Sure.
Or do you
Okay.
or do you want like guess the city by its river, spot the misspell word? What do you guys think?
No, the 50 states one sounds fine. By the way,
My-
old Blindy. No, same problem. Same problem. You have to remove Chuck Norris from the equation because Chuck Norris is to Q as Q is to everybody else.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck Norris is greater than Q.
Chuck Norris wins, period.
Yeah.
Hulk has to be scared if he gets Chuck Norris angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. So okay.
From Star Trek D-Day. Omnipotent being likes to fuck with mortals.
Snap his fingers and pretty much do anything, change anything.
Q anything.
Yeah, there's a specific incident where he becomes human as punishment from the rest of the Q, and he was trying to help out with a problem that they were having, and he's like, "Oh, the solution to this is easy because it was something that they couldn't figure out." And he's like, "Well, what's the solution?" And he's like, "Easy, just change the gravitational constant of the universe."
Yeah, exactly what he said. Said it like it was nothing.
You know.
He said it like it was nothing, and they just looked at him like, and I think that was the moment where they realized just how truly powerful that man was. That he would say
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh, they knew it before. I mean, God, he had already fucked with him plenty before that.
Yeah. But I was proud of him, but he was willing to die to protect them. Then he got his powers back. And he's talking to his friend. He was like, yeah, his friend was like, yeah, I was the one that got you kicked out. He's like, I can't go anywhere without having to apologize for you. Anyway, let's get. Hey, this monsters, ghouls, and ghosts quiz looks good too. You guys ready? I don't. How many questions? Oh Lord, it's 50 questions.
Mhm.
Well, 50 states, right?
There's a timer bonus. Do we want that on or off?
Sure.
Probably off.
All right, let's.
Do we ever do well with the timer?
That's fair,
I-
I guess.
yeah. Okay, so it says Nevada comes from a Spanish word that means which of the following: silver, cactus, snowclad, or gambling.
I'd say silver.
I think it's snowclad.
Oh, you're the Indian, so
Well, because of the Sierra Nevada mountains.
well, that's true.
Oh, Blindy says snow. I don't think it means gambling. I don't think it means.
Well, they probably wouldn't use silver, right? Because silver, they didn't really care, I guess, about metals, right? Like for the most part, they didn't even know how to
In that region,
forge
no, it was
them, right?
mostly
So,
yeah, tribes that didn't work with a lot of metal lived in the area.
so cactus or the snow, you're probably right.
I think it's cactus. I think it's cactus. But then again, Nevada does get snow up in Reno.
It sure does. So personally, I would have named it Mormontown, but you know. Fun fact: yes, some New York gangsters did in fact found Las Vegas, but they did it with Mormon funding and Mormon help.
Hmm.
Nevada means place where devil got drunk.
Yeah. So we've got 2 silvers in chat, 1 cactus, and 1 snow.
Devil, what did you pick again?
I'm changing it to either cactus or snow. Shit, I don't know. The snow part, there's so little of it gets snow. I don't know if I'd go with that. Let's go cactus.
All right. And I say cactus, but I think the silvers have us. And Sam, what you said snowclad?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 snow.
We've
It
got
looks like
a 3rd silver in the chat as well as another snowclad. So there's 3 silvers in chat.
and 2 snowclads.
Yeah, and 1 cactus. So they, I think, I don't know. I think silver probably has it.
All right, let's check. No, it's snowclad.
Boom, boom, ha ha. I mean, collectively we got that wrong, but yeah, Zillage actually they were 2 of the gangsters were from Brooklyn and were in fact Jewish and not Italian. So
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of people don't understand that. Like, they just think all mobsters back in that time were Italian. No, there was actually a big divide between the Jewish and the Italian
And the
mob.
Irish
And
later, and
yeah, and they didn't like each other.
Yeah. Let's see. Kansas is sometimes called the Jayhawker state. Which of the following describes a Jayhawker? An anti-slavery fighter, a bird that eats sunflowers, a hardworking farmer, or a cold, stiff gust of wind? It's Kansas. I got to go with the wind.
I don't know. Because wasn't this is the same state where that one guy decided he was going to wage like a week-long one-man war against everybody back in the 1800s or something? or 1700s?
I would like to phone a friend. Can I call Dermy, that fat bastard? He lives there.
Yeah, go ahead, help yourself.
He knows all about this shit.
I have no idea, man. I
Well,
don't know
call
anything
him
about Kansas.
if he wants to come on. That's fine with me.
Yeah, he's running the show right
He's,
now.
yeah, he's busy being gay.
We've got a farmer. We've got a bird.
Yeah. Can I ask the audience?
We got an anti-slavery. Sam, what choice did you make?
I'm thinking probably the bird or the wind, but I'm not 100% on either one of those. So I'll just say bird to go along with the, birds in the chat here.
That will comes back to you.
I guess hardworking farmer.
I guess the farmers have it. Let's see. No, anti-slavery.
Really?
Okay.
I mean, a jayhawk is a bird, but a jayhawker,
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds like a misdemeanor.
Yeah. And this guy he's got a fine for jayhawking.
It sounds like something you get a prostitute to do.
Right? Okay. Diagonally across the street.
How much for a jayhawker?
How much you got? Let's see. The village of North Tarrytown, New York, renamed itself Sleepy Hollow in honor of what local author? Edgar Allan Poe, Walt Whitman, Washington Irving, or Henry David Thoreau? I think it's
Washington Irving.
Yeah.
Yep. Leaving. Let's do it. Yay.
Yeah, that one's pretty obvious. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Originally making black gunpowder, what company was founded by French immigrants in Delaware in 1802? Is it Kraft Heinz, John Deere DuPont, or 3M? Oh, DuPont?
I would probably
say
go with DuPont. Yeah, it's the
yeah.
only one that.
Listen to the French Canadian.
Mm.
Yeah, even though Blindy's saying DuPont, let's go with it.
Yeah,
It is DuPont.
it's the only French one up there.
Although it doesn't grow there naturally, which of these spicy nicknames applies to people from Connecticut? Big deals, nutmeggers, cinnamon, Cillin bro.
I'm gonna go with nutmeggers.
Yeah, I was.
I don't even care if that's wrong. I'm just going with it.
Yeah, I'm going with nutmeggers too. The French Canadian agrees. The village of Zillage agrees. Aaron's in shock. Aaron's calling for nuts. All right, let's try it. Yep.
Holy shit!
All right. Let's see. The Oklahoma State Capitol is unique because it is the only capital that has which of the following features: sheep farms, working oil wells, boat harbors, or cactus gardens. Ooh, I'm gonna go
It's working
with.
oil wells.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
The fun fact, chat. I was born in Oklahoma. I haven't lived there in ever, but I was born there.
And it was right. All right, next. Responsible for 40% of the nation's production of this crop, Arkansas is the United States leading grower of what? Tobacco, corn, cotton, or rice? Arkansas. I think it's
Tobacco, I
right.
think, right? I think it's tobacco.
Wait, is it? Because I thought that would have been like North Carolina. Like Raleigh.
Corn's kind of hard because every single state grows corn.
Yeah.
So
I'm getting a lot of
Everybody
cotton
in
in
chat
the.
saying cotton.
is it con? Okay,
I
well,
mean,
let's go con.
All right, all right,
yeah,
cotton it is.
we'll go cotton.
Nope,
Nope.
rice. I was right. I was
Fair
right.
enough. You know what? You guys are all big. You were just thinking cotton because it's in the South.
Let's see. Named for a part of the state's history, which of the following opened its first amusement park in Texas in 1961? Six Flags, Legoland, Disney, or SeaWorld? I'm
It's
guessing Six
not
Flags.
Disney. It's not Disney. I don't think it's SeaWorld.
I think it's Six
Uh,
Flags.
I think it's Six Flags too.
Oh, it is Six Flags. I can tell you why after.
Yep.
So Six Flags refers to the six national flags over Texas because it has been part of six different nations. It was owned
Yep.
by the French. It was part of Spain for a while. It was part of Mexico for a while, the CSA, the USA, and Texas when it was an independent country for about 10 minutes.
There you go. Six Flags. All right, let's see. Wisconsin restaurants are legally prohibited from serving which of the following unless specifically requested? High fructose corn syrup, almond milk, fresh yogurt, or margarine. What? I've never heard of this. I'm gonna go with the high fruit. Mm,
I'm gonna go with margarine because they're big into dairy. So you think
right,
they'd be
margarine is
like,
fake, right?
yeah, it's not butter. It's butter's made from milk, while uh, that's made from oils, I believe.
Yeah, margarine is made from oil. So yeah, I would say margarine. Margarine. Voice saying margarine.
Yeah,
Everybody saying margarine.
yeah,
All right,
I'll go with that.
it's correct.
Mm,
Well done, everybody.
Wisconsin is serious about its dairy.
that
I
it is.
mean, they would call them cheeseheads for a reason.
Mm,
Yeah.
Which of these mountains, the tallest in the state of Washington, is sometimes referred to by its Native American name, Mount Tacoma? Mount McKinley.
McKinley.
Okay. Because Mount Rushmore is not in Washington, correct?
No,
No, it's in
no,
South Dakota.
there's
That is
actually a
Mount Rainier.
big problem with it not too long ago because I think it was under Obama, they changed it to where it was that name, the Native American name. They're all, we're giving it back and stuff. And I think Trump actually changed it back, didn't he?
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
think
put it
so
back. I
too.
think, oh, yeah.
Also, Pikes Peak is in Colorado.
Yeah.
All right, no, it was Mount
Oh, was
Rainier.
it?
Is Mount
For
Rainier
real?
taller than Mount McKinley?
I didn't think so.
I didn't think so either. Huh.
Yeah, that stumps me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least we knew it wasn't the other two. They're both in different states.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, Mount Rushmore is not very tall. So,
I'd imagine not. I mean, you got to
No,
crawl up
it's
there and make all those faces. Let's see. Wyoming is nicknamed the Equality State because it was the first to do which of the following: outlaw slavery, allow women the right to vote, enact effective action laws, or recognize gay marriage.
I think it was the right to women to vote, wasn't it?
I was.
I don't know.
Should I answer? Because I know the answer to this. Should I answer
Then
this?
Go
yeah, then
ahead.
answer.
Okay. Yeah. It was. It was. They gave. They were the first to allow a woman the right to vote before it was legal in the constitutional or in the continental United States in
Oh,
1870. I forget the woman's name, but it was a full 50 years before the 19th Amendment was ratified by Congress in 1920.
all right, yeah. So fuck
Well,
Wyoming. Thank you. You ruined fun.
To be fair,
firmly,
she was a landowner.
firmly nestled between the Mississippi and Ohio rivers, southern Illinois has what nickname? Little Japan, Little Egypt, Little Netherlands, or Little Brazil? I've never heard of that. I've
Yeah, I've
never
never
heard of
heard
this.
any of
Little
this.
Egypt.
Is it? Oh, okay.
It's Little Egypt. They're in southern Illinois. I have family out there too. There are little towns, particularly with Middle Eastern names or names of other things that are foreign, but they've got American pronunciations. So there's a town called Cairo that's spelled Cairo, as in the capital of Egypt.
There's a
Yeah, and a
town
bunch
not
of other
far
stuff.
from me named Cairo.
Yeah,
All right, let's see.
but yeah,
Yeah. All right. Next one, we gotta get the chat involved. I've been kind of leaving them out.
Yeah, we're abandoning you guys.
Yeah. Which of these colonists founded Rhode Island after being banished from Massachusetts Bay Colony? Roger Williams, John Smith, William Penn, or Miles Standish?
Ooh, I
it
have
wasn't
no
William
clue.
Penn.
Yeah, no. Uh,
And John Smith was like what,
the
like way
Pocahontas
early
dude,
colony.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
He, so it's one of the other ones, I guess. Roger Williams, maybe. But I've heard the name Miles Standish, so I don't know.
Aaron is saying some John Smith.
yeah.
Is it?
Uh,
I'll trust her. I'll trust her. Gusco John Smith.
Zil says John Smith too.
Yeah.
So Jacob Gallo. Yeah. All right. Well, yes. Let's go with John Smith then.
All right. Nope. Roger
Ooh.
Williams.
You led us astray, Aaron.
I think Aaron.
Damn it, Wyoming.
I think she was making an educated guess. She's in Canada after all, you know.
she's Canadian, dude. She
Oh, God damn it,
Does she know
Canada.
about the history?
although I will say this though,
Don't
the
trust
next quiz,
me.
Ask her
the
about
next quiz I
Wisconsin or
create,
Saskatchewan.
the next quiz I create will have a section on Canada. So I'm gonna do the part 2 of the world quiz. And I'm thinking about calling it either "Oh Canada" or "Clearly Canadian." I said, I remember that drink, Clearly Canadian. That was good. It's clearly Canadian from years ago. Anyway, with more than 120,000 served over the weekend at Churchill Downs, which cocktail is the official drink of the Kentucky Derby? That's a good question. Is it Manhattan, Old Fashioned,
Mint julep.
Mint Julep, or Moscow Mule?
Mint julep.
I think it's a mint
I
too.
think it's
What do you think,
mint
Sam?
It's mint julep.
All right, what say you, chat? We got
Yeah, I think
we
mint
got
julep.
Lepo.
Yeah.
We got Lepo for mint. We got Lepo for mint. Get down, get down. Aaron says mint. I wouldn't know. Zillage, that's not a drink. It's not a drink choice.
I bet it is somewhere.
Mint.
Yeah.
Jacob said, "All right, let's try it." Yeah, mint julep. All right. Missouri is frequently referred to by what nickname? The Forget Me Not State, the Show Me State, the Sunflower State. No, because that's California. No, is it? No, it's California
No.
Sunshine State.
No,
The Tar Heel State, which is
No,
Carolina.
no, either.
One of the
it's
Carolinas.
the Show
is
Me
the-
State.
Yeah, I think it's the Show Me State.
That's what I think too.
I'm pretty sure it's on their license plates.
Vor says the Show Me State.
California is the get fucked state.
Oh yeah, they love it too. They stay bent over, ready to take it from their leadership. Show me, know me.
Mhm.
The know me state, which would be Texas. Oh no, was it freaking no, was it New Mexico? Show me, okay, show me a state it is. Yeah. As a nod to its Pennsylvania roots, the label of which of these products is shaped like a keystone? Coca-Cola, Campbell's Soup, Doritos tortilla chips, or Heinz ketchup?
Is the shape of a keystone? Isn't it Heinz ketchup?
I would think so. Doritos that's a bag. Soup,
Well,
that's soup and Coke. They're
No, the
round.
label. The Doritos has a triangle in the back of its label. The Heinz has it looks like a badge almost, which is, I believe, what the keystone is, right? Isn't that the shape of it? Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Coca-Cola is just a
just a circle.
Cursive. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Campbell's Soup is what? God, I can't remember what camel soup.
Camel soup has a medallion on it, I think.
Yeah, it has a medallion.
Right?
So I'd
Like
say
a clear
Heinz.
gold, like a bronze or a brass medallion.
Well, we've got Aaron saying, "What's a keystone?" You guys want to inform the lady?
That's a
So
good
she can make-
question. I'm not sure.
It's,
Well,
I
damn,
don't think
now I
I
gotta
know
look
the
it
answer
up.
to that.
that's why I went with it, because it's the only I don't know exactly what it is, but I know it's not a triangle. So, and it's not a circle. It's not a basic shape. So I think it's the Heinz ketchup kind of thing, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Oh, old Blindy says it's a top stone in an arch. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That absolutely makes sense. I think it's
Yeah,
ketchup too.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, it's the ketchup.
Okay,
Let's try it. Yay.
there you go.
Okay. North Dakota is nicknamed the Rough Rider State because which U.S. president ran a cattle ranch there? Andrew Jackson, Theodore Roosevelt, Ronald Reagan, or George Washington?
What is it? North Dakota?
It was Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah, it's Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy?
Yeah.
LaPoe says Roosevelt.
Yeah. Well, his posse when he was young were known as the Rough Riders.
Yeah, they were.
Dude loved his horses. Yeah.
Roosevelt. Did you know that there's if you guys go down to San Antonio, there is a hotel that's haunted, and in the bar section, the ghost that haunts that bar is Theodore Roosevelt because that particular
I've heard that.
hotel,
Yeah.
yeah, that's where he would go, where they would when he would recruit people for the Rough Riders, he would get them drunk and then get them to sign an agreement and to join, and when they would sober up they would find themselves at the training camp, and that hotel was where he did it.
So
So
he's haunting the place he shanghaied people?
yeah, yeah, and some
Pretty
and
much,
even
yeah.
like I took the tour, and I even went back and I even asked some of the workers, and some of the workers told me, they were like, yeah, we've seen him here. They said, like, well, right when they're closed, he'll come in, he'll sit down at the same stool and order a drink every night.
Yeah.
That place has like 30
Yeah,
something
yeah.
ghosts up in there. Even there was
I
even a
mean,
lady that ran out. She ran out of her hotel room, came downstairs in nothing but a bath towel, and said the ghost of a maid that had died in there because she was murdered was when she came out of the shower, and the ghost was in there folding her clothes.
yeah.
Mm,
You know, if Teddy's listening, and I doubt very much he is on account of being dead and all, but if he is, it's a bit of a dick move, dude, to go back to where you got people drunk to sign their life away and just keep trying to do it, man. That's fucked up.
Yeah, trying to get people to
Secondly,
share a drink with it.
was asking. Yeah, I think that name was in a movie, Starship Troopers. Maybe it was Roughneck. In Starship Troopers, it was Roughnecks, which is actually
Yeah.
also a. I think that's a term that's used for oil field workers as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's used in different things. Like I said, different. It's
Alright.
not just
Well,
for one or two things. It's
let's try it. Yep, Teddy, buckle up, Teddy. All right. Borrowing from a song title, one of the bridges in Leland, Mississippi was named Rainbow Connection to honor what person? Dolly Parton.
Kermit the Frog. Just funny.
Dolly
I mean-
Parton, Jim Henson, who was the
No,
creator
it's
of
Jim
the
Henson.
Muppets,
Yeah.
Jimmy Buffett, or Tammy Wynette.
No, it's Jim Henson.
That's totally Jim Henson.
Why? Because he created the Muppets?
No, because he created that
And
song,
also
I
because
believe. Didn't he?
he wrote
When
that
he-
song, and he was
yeah.
the voice of Kermit the Frog until he died. So yeah.
Yeah.
I used to know that whole damn song by heart. I used to love the Muppets. Like when I was a kid, freaking loved them.
All right. Well, you guys are saying Hanson, so let's see it. Yep, Hanson.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In 1886, Georgia pharmacist John Pemberton created which of the following? Pepto Bismol, lemonade, Coca Cola, or chocolate milk? I'm going to go with Pepitol.
I'm gonna go with Coca-Cola.
Huh. John Pemberton. 1886. It could be. It's not. I wouldn't say chocolate.
Was
milk.
Coca-Cola made by then?
Yeah.
Like,
Coca-Cola's been
wasn't it
around for a
before?
long
I know it was made by then. I'm saying, was it made before that? Because I know when was Coca-Cola made? Because originally Coca-Cola was supposed to be a pharmaceutical. It was supposed to be a medicine.
time.
So it would make sense, but I don't know if he was
It
the
could be a trick
pharmacist who did
question
it.
though,
Yeah, that's the thing.
because it's either Coca-Cola
Yeah.
or the Pepto.
Well, Lepo's right too, because like
Yeah.
the active ingredient in old style Coca-Cola was
Was
cocaine.
cocaine,
That's where the
yeah.
name comes from.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's Coca-Cola or Pepto Bismol too. I'm just not
We've
sure
got
which, because
one.
I imagine
I'll go
Pepto's probably been around for
Coca-Cola.
a long time.
Shit.
Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3. There's 4 Peptos because I said Pepto. So there's 4 of us who said Pepto.
Go ahead. Go with Pepto.
Yeah, might as well go with that then.
Yeah.
No, it's Coke.
Oh.
Okay.
Doubted my drug knowledge.
Yeah, I shouldn't have. When it comes to seeing, you say, "Come on in, devil." So listen to you. All right. What late night television personality lobbied on air for the mayor of Indianapolis to rename Indiana's I-465 freeway after him? Johnny Carson, Conan O'Brien, David Letterman, or Jay Leno?
I'd say Johnny
That was fucking Jay
Carson.
Leno, dude.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Dude's totally in the
Well,
car.
that makes sense. Yeah, because he is car fanatic.
He's also full of himself.
Dude has like 3 or 4 cars that run off of steam. They're like ancient and they're steam powered. That's how fanatical the man is about cars.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we're all saying Leno. Shoot. Aaron said Leno. Aaron said he's arrogant.
Wait, she's right. He is. So
He is.
you know.
Definitely Leno. Everybody saying Leno. All right, let's see it. No, David Letterman.
No.
Oh, seriously? Fuck does David Letterman do besides grow a beard and look like a homeless dude?
That's very true.
All right, let's see. A favorite among miners because it could be made on the go. Which bread is also a nickname for an old timer in Alaska? Sourdough, pumpernickel, challah, or rye? Oh,
It's
I'm gonna
not
say
sourdough. I don't think it's sourdough.
Aaron says challah.
It's either pumpernickel or one of those
I'm
two,
going with
pumpernickel or challah. But it's
Can
not
we-
rye and it's not sourdough. I don't think.
Can we pick them both, like pumper challah or challah nickel?
I'll go with
think it
I'll go
looks
with
like-
pumpernickel, but it could, like I said, very well could be challah. But at this point, I don't trust her no more.
I mean, because she's a woman, or because she led you astray once already.
Yeah, she led me astray.
You know, I'm gonna switch my answer to
I'll give her
pumpernickel,
another
too.
chance. I'm gonna go with Chala. I'll
Okay.
give her another chance. I have no fucking idea, so I'm just guessing.
I'm gonna switch to pumpernickel. So I think the pumpernickels have it, and no, it was sourdough.
No, for real?
So my first fucking guess was right. Jesus.
That is weird. That would have been the last one I picked. Literally, the last one I had picked.
Let's see. Instead of countries like most other states have, Louisiana's 64 subdivisions are called what? Hamlets, cantons. Come on, they're boroughs or parishes. No, parishes, because Louisiana parish.
Yeah, yeah.
Got that French.
I believe, or is it Hamlet?
What- yeah, what's the instead of counties? Oh yeah,
The
no,
code says
yeah, it's parishes.
cantons.
Yeah, it's parishes, I believe.
I think it's parent. And then he said a French
It's
word.
not. I know it's not boroughs. That's
No, it's not borough.
New York City, isn't it? Isn't that the boroughs?
Lepo says cantons. He says it's
yeah.
a French word, I guess.
So I'll go. Parishes.
It's also a Chinese place, so you know.
Aaron said
We
Hamlet.
got a canton.
Oh, Blindy
Hamlet.
says Canton.
I'm reasonably certain it's parishes, though. I think it's the only state that doesn't call them counties.
I think parish too. What do you say, Devil?
I'll go with parishes.
All right.
Yeah, I know there's at least one because I've seen movies where they've referred to parishes. I just don't know if it was in
Well,
or not.
we've got a tie
Louisiana
because
or
we've
something.
got 3 for parishes. The 3 of us say parish, and in the chat is three cantons. So believe they have
There's another
parishes.
parish just popped
Okay.
up.
So I guess he changed it. So let's go with parishes. Yep, parishes. Yay! All right. The leader in this agricultural section, the leader in this agricultural sector, Iowa, has 7 of which livestock per person in the state? Pigs, chickens, sheep, or cows? This is Iowa, right? So
Hmm.
it snows in Iowa, correct?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, what is Iowa?
It's Midwest.
The sheep sounds familiar, like Iowan sheep, but I'm not 100% sure. I know it's not. I don't think it's chicken.
No, I want to
I'd
go with
say
sheep or
sheep.
pigs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sheep.
That's what I was thinking. It's either the sheep or the pigs. I'm gonna go with sheep.
Yeah, yeah. Sheep,
Yeah,
sheep is good.
that's where I am.
Zilla
We got
says sheep. Aaron says chicken. The post says pig. We've got another pig. And there's 4 sheep, so I guess it's sheep. Let's see. No, pigs.
no, the
Shit,
pigs have it.
it must be a
Pigs have it.
smelly ass state.
Dude.
For
I
real.
mean, I've just been to one town that was full of them, man. Like even sheep, you get enough sheep in one place, it starts to get pretty fucking rank.
That's
You know?
true.
All right. Michigan was awarded its Upper Peninsula after conceding its claim on what town? Milwaukee, Saint Saint Marie, Chicago, or Toledo? Well, it's not Toledo.
Wait.
I would have to say it's not Toledo.
It's Salt St.
It's
Marie.
not. It's either that or Milwaukee. I think it's
Well,
I think it's
Sault
Sault
Ste.
Ste.
Marie
Marie.
is on an island that was contested between I think the US and Canada.
All right. Yeah, I'll go with
Yep,
that.
Aaron. I trust Aaron. Aaron said Sault Ste. Marie. Yep, Lapel too. No, it's Toledo. Wow.
Huh.
Can we put Erin in timeout? She just
Right. Once located in present-day North Carolina, which of these settlements mysteriously disappeared sometime between 1587 and 1590? Oh, it's Roanoke.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's Roanoke.
So the settlement itself was still there. It was just all the people vanished.
People were gone.
But yeah.
Yeah, and all that was left was a carving in a tree said Krakatoa, I believe.
Croatian.
Krakatoan, yeah.
Krakatoan, yeah.
Or Croatoan, sorry. It was
Croatoan, yeah, there you go. You're right.
Is the name of a neighboring tribe that was at war with one of the tribes that the Roanoke Islanders supposedly made peace with. So like
Yeah.
they could have been part of a raid, they could have been cannibalized, they could have been swallowed up by a demon portal too. So no, because nobody knows. Nope, they still don't have any idea what happened to these people. So
Yeah. Originally a statement by an American Revolutionary War general, which of these is
good
New
night, Phil.
Hampshire's motto? All for our country, north to the future, live free or die. I have not yet begun to fight. Um, I'd say I have not yet begun to fight. Because somebody did say that. I heard Bugs Bunny say it.
So yeah,
True statement. Night for.
yeah. I think it's live free or die.
Zilla says he hasn't. It's not yet begun to fight. Oh, Blindy says John Paul Jones.
I think it's where's the beef.
We have the meats.
It's on their license plates. Uh,
Yeah.
oh, Blindy said, begun to fight, live free or die. Jacob Gallo got milked by Lepo.
That's a good choice too.
Live free or die. Try Biggie Small. All right. We gotta pick one. What are you guys picking?
I'll go with
Live free or die.
yeah, live free or die.
All right. Live free or die has it. Wow. Okay. And Aaron was right. A term linked. Watch her ask for you to be put in timeout. A term linked to a discovery made using gold. Which of these words in California is California state motto? Eureka, huzzah, voila, or Excelsior. I I want to say Eureka. I should know. I grew up in California. You would think I'd know. I want to say
Yeah,
Eureka.
I tend to agree. I think it is Eureka.
Dev ill. You still live in California, so you,
I try not to know nothing about this state. No,
Aaron,
I'd say Eureka.
the Eurekas have it because it's in the chat too. Yep,
Yep.
Eureka.
Which
The
is
Tennessee,
Greek for I have it.
the Tennessee residence of which person is reportedly second only to the White House as the most visited home in the United States. Hmm. William Randolph Hearst, Mark Twain, Abraham Lincoln, or Elvis Presley. Elvis, come on.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's Graceland.
That's Graceland.
it's definitely not Hearst. Hearst is California.
Yeah. Isn't it Hearst that I think I've been to that. Isn't that plot
Hearst was essentially one of those billion. Well, if you put it in now time, billionaires. You know, kind of like how you had the oil barons and
Yeah.
steel barons. He was a newspaper baron, owned a lot of newspapers, made a fortune. He built this castle called Hearst Castle on top of the hill that is essentially supposed to look like, I believe, an Italian village. And it was massive through lavish parties. It was the most expensive home at the time, I believe.
Mhm.
Guy literally brought over all these
He
exotic
was
animals.
Proto-Diddy.
What? Yeah, pretty much. He brought over all
He
these
was
exotic.
Proto-Diddy.
Yeah, proto did he exactly. Brought over all these exotic animals because he literally had like his own zoo on the property, and so
He's
now
like
you
Michael
have
Jackson.
pretty much. But now you have wild zebras running the countryside in California in the area because they all got out after it fell into disrepair. And so, yeah, you have zebras running around the hillsides on the coast of California because of
Yeah,
that.
I've been to Hearst Castle, but what I was trying to get out earlier was, isn't that place haunted? But then I thought I was like,
Mm.
no, it's not.
No, it's just the family couldn't keep the cost of it and the upkeep, and so they gave it over to the state. So now it's like a museum type thing. You can go take tours, and yeah. But it is massive, and like I said, it does look like a city. It looks like a little Italian city covering an entire mountain type hill. It's crazy.
All right. Which of these holidays began in Nebraska as a way to help settlers? Father's Day, Groundhog Day, Flag Day, or Arbor Day? I think it was Groundhog.
I have no freaking clue.
Sam.
Flag Day, maybe?
Did we lose Sam?
It's possible, with his internet.
Yeah, for a second. Sorry about that, folks. What did I miss?
Which of these holidays began in Nebraska as a way to help settlers? Father's Day, Groundhog Day, Flag Day, or Arbor Day?
Arbor Day is Aaron, is when we go out and we all build arbors. It's a tradition. I have no clue. What the fuck is Arbor Day?
Arbor Day is about planting trees.
There you go.
It's
hippie shit.
answer Lepo's question, Puxatawny is in Pennsylvania, so it's not Groundhog Day.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't Groundhog Day.
I don't know. It's probably maybe it is Arbor Day. Maybe it is because planting trees like apple trees and orange trees and all that shit would have helped with farmers, right?
Yeah. I'll switch to Arbor Day.
Okay.
So people are saying Arbor Day. Aaron said Flag Day. What are you saying, Sam?
Arbor Day, yeah.
All right, let's check it. It is Arbor.
There you go.
Alrighty. We got 20 more to go. What inventor came up with many of his ideas in his laboratory in Menlo Park, New Jersey? Alexander Graham Bell, Thomas Edison, Philo Farnsworth, or Benjamin Franklin? I'm gonna go with
I think it was.
Edison. It's either Edison or Bell.
I think it's Bell.
Yeah, I'll switch to Bell.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go with it.
Supposedly
Edison
Bell was
stole more than
Canadian.
he actually invented, so.
Bell was Canadian.
Oh,
Beaky saying Edison. Aaron said he was Canadian.
so it's not
Doesn't
Bell.
mean he didn't work in.
There's another Edison. Aaron
Oh,
just said Edison.
Whatever.
Edison.
I'll go with Benjamin Franklin just to be a
Alright.
dick.
Now I'm gonna switch to Edison because old Blindy's saying he lives in New Jersey. And he says he's been there. So what do you guys want to do?
Fuck it. I'm gonna go with Philo Farnsworth.
Oh boy, I'm going with Edison. Still just going Farnsworth, and I suspect he's just doing it just to be part of the village. LOL's not a choice, Lauren.
It looks like there's more Edisons than anything else, though.
All right, let's check Edison. Correct.
That's funny because he sure spent a lot of time in fucking Colorado beating down Tesla's door, but whatever.
Or beating down Tesla. You never know. Which of the following is the official state netwear of Arizona? Bolo tie, neckerchief, ascot, or infinity scarf? Bolo tie? Lapel says bolo tie.
I mean, I thought that was more of a Texan thing, but all right. Yeah. And infinity scarves, like you see a lot of those up in Seattle now on dudes. They're not really for dudes, by the way. If you're a dude and you're wearing one of those are for chicks. Just saying.
Zilla's just saying infinity. Aaron is saying if she wears an infinity scarf.
Thank you for proving my point.
Are you saying that Zillage is a trans?
No, that might be his answer. Might be infinity scarves, but I'm just saying that she proved my point. Chicks wear them. They're for chicks. They're not for dudes. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with bolo tie, even though I think that's more of a Texan thing. But
yeah, I'm going bolo. Aaron's going bolo. Jacob and Zillage are infinity.
Polo's bolo.
All right, let's see. Yep, bolo tie. All right. Just 4 years after basketball was created in nearby Springfield, Massachusetts, William G. Morgan developed which sport at the Holyoke YMCA in 1895? And I think I know no, I don't know the answer. Okay, volleyball, lacrosse, table tennis, or pickleball. I'm gonna say volleyball.
I'm gonna say lacrosse.
Lacrosse.
Yeah, lacrosse. I think. I don't think
Lapo
volleyball.
lacrosse. Lapo lacrosse.
Yeah, I don't think that the volleyball is that old, and lacrosse is played in all of the old Ivy League schools in the States.
True. But we got pickleball in the chat. And Lapo says not basketball.
Yeah, 2 pickleballs. Pickle these balls.
I'll switch to pickleball just to see. No, it's volleyball.
Seriously, it's been around that long? It's a dumb fucking sport, but okay.
No, it's not. Volleyball's a great sport.
I played volleyball for years. I still think it's a dumb sport.
I played it for years. I still think it's great.
I watch girls play ball.
Why do you think I started playing again?
See, Mormon settlers originally wanted to name Utah Deseret, a word for the Book of Mormon that means what? I don't know.
Honeybee.
Coyote. Okay. I think you would know. So.
Yep. Ray's Mormon, read a lot of shit about it, and also they will freely tell you that. So if you go to Salt Lake, all of the old buildings there have like a honeybee on there, as we learned earlier, keystones or cornerstones or whatever. Those they'll have like a beehive carved into it.
Okay. Let's see. Spanish explorer Juan Ponce de Leon gave Florida its name in part because he arrived around what holiday? Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, Christmas, or Easter? I'm going with Thanksgiving.
No, Thanksgiving wasn't.
No, not Thanksgiving.
Got here.
It might be
Easter.
Well, he was a Spanish conquistador, therefore Catholic. So
maybe Easter because
it's got to be Easter.
Because Easter, there's a lot of flowers blooming, and Florna maybe Am I making some connection here that doesn't exist?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's Easter.
I'll go in timeout if I get wrong.
I think it was Easter too, though, because he was also the guy who was looking for the fountain of youth, and Easter is about eternal life and resurrection.
Yep. And we've got Easter. Aaron says Mother's Day.
So we know it's not Mother's Day.
Yeah. The Easter's have it. There you go, Easter. Shoot, recap. Old Blindy even said Easter. Until it became its own state in 1820, the area that is now Maine was part of what other state? New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, as I like to call it, or Vermont? Vermont. It's either Vermont or New Hampshire, I think.
Well, read the question again.
Until it became its own state in 1820, the area that is now Maine was a part of what other state? New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, or Vermont? I want to say it's either Vermont or New Hampshire.
I think it's Vermont because Vermont's the one that's like a tapering wedge, and the other one looks like a tower, right? But they're kind of split diagonally from each other, and I think the one that's got the tapering point going south is the one closer to Maine.
I'll go Vermont. Sounds right.
All right. Vermont? No, it's Massachusetts.
Fuck. Massholes.
I know, for real. Hawaiians eat more of which of these foods per capita than any other state, consuming 7 million cans a year? Campbell's tomato soup, green giant green beans, Hormel spam, or Chef Boyardee ravioli?
Spam.
Why do you think it's spam?
Because it was readily available during the war. World War II, there was a shit ton of spam because it was easy to transport. And so a lot of it got sent over there. And so it just kind of became part of their cuisine.
All right. Spam it is. Yep. All right. New Mexico is the only state with an official question, red or green. What does this refer to? Snakes, teas, chili peppers, or tomatoes?
Chili peppers.
I think it's chili peppers.
Yep.
Or tomatoes.
No, New Mexico chilies. Trust me. It's
just throwing a little discord in the mix there.
Lepo just followed suit. He's saying tomatoes.
Wrong.
Old Blindy says, Aaron Lindy. Aaron Laura says, Old Blindy, yo.
Old Blindy and Aaron Laura in the chat being all like, good luck, Chuck.
All right, so Chuck Peppers it is. Yep, There we go. All right. John Denver played which of these songs during the 1980 dedication of West Virginia University's Mountaineer Field? Ring of Fire, Drop Kick Me Jesus, or Drop Kick Me Jesus, On the Road Again, or Country Roads?
It's
Country
Country
Roads.
Roads. It's the only one of the songs that he performed, by the way, ever. So the name songs there, Country Roads is the only one
All
he
right,
ever played.
boom. All right. Producing more than 2.5 million gallons in 2022, Vermont is the nation's leading source of which of the following? Craft
Maple
beer,
syrup.
maple syrup. Well, it's right next to Canada. Milk, orange juice.
Maple
I'm
syrup.
going. Yep. Le Peau is saying maple as well.
Yeah, it's maple syrup. They're famous
Maple.
for it.
Yeah.
All right. Referencing the fact that this British monarch never married, who is Virginia named for? To Victoria. No, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth the First,
Wait,
yeah. No, Victoria came. Queen
Victoria.
Victoria came. The first came after the founding of the 13 colonies. So, because the Victorian era is in the late 1800s,
Right.
so it would
Well,
have been. It would have
Elizabeth
been.
never married.
No, but Elizabeth the First, yeah, she never married, but she also was. I think prior to George the Third, who was king at the time of the Revolutionary War, right?
Yeah, but they're not saying all this. Just referencing the fact that this British monarch never married. Who is Virginia named for?
I think it's Elizabeth the First.
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
Devil.
I'll go with it.
All right. What is the chat say? So Aaron is saying that she's saying that she made some maple and pecan cornbread a few days ago. Aaron,
Nice.
can you email us some of that so we can
That
try it?
sounds good. It really does.
Saying Liz. Okay. Let's see. Yep. Liz it is.
They also
All
make
right.
a meat white cheddar.
Among the inventions Idaho claims as its own in the ski chairlift, which debuted in which of the following resort areas? Telluride, Sun Valley, Jackson Hole, or Sugarloaf? There's jokes in there. I'm gonna go with
Telluride.
I'm gonna go with Sun Valley.
I'm not sure. This one.
I kind of want to go with Jackson Hole. I don't know. The
I
hole
should
sounds
know,
bad.
being that Idaho's close to California, but I don't.
Yeah. Well, Jackson Hole isn't in Idaho, so
The Sugar Hole.
it's in Wyoming.
Is it?
It's where the Cheneys live, yeah, or where the Cheneys have property, yeah, and Harrison Ford.
Sugarloaf sounds like some insult for like a gay person. They would say, like some black Southern dude would say, "You know that boy's a sugarloaf." Just saying.
Yeah, I think it's Telluride.
I'll go with
I'll go with
Telluride.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Nope. Sun Valley. I was right.
Yep. So is Beak and Jacob Galley. You guys are right too.
The first U.S. circulating coin to include Braille, uh, Alabama's state quarter, features a likeness of which person? Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, Thomas Edison, or Helen Keller?
It's Ray Charles.
Sure, I'll go with him.
Yeah.
Just waiting to see what the chat says.
Both
Lepo
Ray
says
Charles.
Ray Charles.
Yeah. Man was blind as fuck, but he was a musical virtuoso.
Yeah.
All right, let's go Ray. No, Helen Keller.
Oh. Dude, what was she gonna? How the fuck did she learn Braille? She was also deaf and mute.
Sam, time out. Time out, Sam.
Nearly 6 times the height of the heads of Mount Rushmore, a 563-foot tall likeness of what Native American is currently being carved in South
Oh,
Dakota?
Crazy
it's-
Horse. It's
Yeah, Crazy Horse. Yeah,
Crazy Horse?
yeah.
All right. Ohio is the Buckeye State. What is a Buckeye? An insect, a shoe, a nut, or a tool? Zillage, you and I should know this because we're both in Ohio.
Yeah, no clue.
It's a nut.
Is
See,
it a nut?
it's a nut.
Weird. I always thought it was some kind
Yeah.
of like deer or antelope.
Yeah, I had no clue. I've
And it's,
heard, a Buckeye bunch, but I've never known what it was.
yeah, they grow on the trees.
I mean, as nuts do,
Because its spongy wood repelled British cannonballs during the American Revolutionary War, which of the following was named South Carolina's state tree? Elm, spruce, redwood, or palmetto? My guess is
No,
palmetto.
it's not redwood. That's
No, that's California.
Mm.
yeah, it's California.
Well, it also says spongy wood. Redwood's real hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's the palmetto. Palmetto.
I don't think it's elm.
Yeah, it was probably palmetto too. Yeah, it's not spruce.
Yeah.
They didn't have they didn't have access to a lot of spruces at that time.
So
in the
then,
area.
yeah, let's go palmetto. I mean, that's my vote.
Yep.
Go.
Maryland lawyer Francis Scott Key wrote "The Star Spangled Banner" after witnessing which fort successfully defend
Oh shit, I know this.
Baltimore from the British? Fort Sumter, Fort Ticonderoga, Fort Independence, or Fort McHenry? I think it's either Sumter, or Ticonderoga.
I think it was Fort Sumter. I think, but I want to say Fort McHenry for some reason, but I'm pretty sure it was Fort Sumter. I fucking know this story. Why can't I
Yeah.
remember the name? Because this was the one where they had a bunch of prisoners below decks on the ship, and Scott Key was like relaying information to them because they were like, surrender the ship or surrender this fort, and we'll spare your lives. And they were just, no, we're not going to drop the flag. That was the only condition they were given, was to drop the flag, and they refused to do it. And when it was all said and done, the flag was still up, and it was propped up by the destroyed bodies of the people who held it up while they were being shelled to death.
Mm.
That was a wild story.
So I guess, well, I'm going with Sumter. Devil, what about you?
I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, I'll go with some.
All right. No, McHenry.
God
Damn
damn
it! I literally, my head was there, but I was all like, I haven't heard that name enough to say that, that's it. And
Right.
I should have said.
I said at the beginning of this, I feel like I should say Fort McHenry, but I think it's Fort Sumter. God damn it.
Right. During the 1990s, Minnesota saw an influx of refugees from what country, including future U.S. Congressional Representative Ilhan Omar?
Haiti, right?
Somalia.
Somalia. Shit. There you go.
Somalia.
Yeah, she's a
That's
Somalian
right. She's a
mother.
pirate. That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
And a brother fucker.
She's a butt pirate. The opening lines of America the Beautiful were written by a Massachusetts teacher visiting Colorado while atop what mountain? Mount St. Helens, Denali, Mount Rushmore, or Pikes Peak?
it was Pikes Peak.
Yeah, I don't trust mountain questions since I got that last one wrong.
Well,
Pikes Peak is the only one of those that's actually in Colorado.
So there you go.
all right. Yeah, Peak agrees. All right, let's try it. Boom. Okay. Which
Twin
of these
Peaks, great
conflicts?
show.
Which of these conflicts took place in what is now Montana? Battle of Little Bighorn, Wounded Knee Massacre, Seminole Wars, or Battle of the Alamo in Montana?
It's not the Alamo.
It's not the Alamo. Maybe the
I'm pretty sure it's
Knee
Wounded Knee
Massacre.
Massacre. Yeah, because the
That's what I
Seminole
think,
Wars were
too.
East Coast and they dripped down into the South, into Florida. But and Little Bighorn was in South Dakota. That's where Custer ended.
Yeah,
I'm
so
pretty
I'd say
sure.
Wounded Knee.
Yeah, it's Wounded Knee.
All right.
As in, I left my heart at Wounded Knee.
No, it's Little Bighorn.
Little Bighorn wasn't. I mean, maybe okay. No, at the time, yeah, maybe it was part of Greater Montana before they carved it up into the Dakotas. I guess that's possible. But yeah,
All right. Last question. Also, the state animal. Which creature is illustrated on the back of the Oregon state flag? The moose, bee, bear, or beaver? Well, we know it's not the bear because that's
That's
California.
California. Yeah.
The
Uh,
beaver, I think.
yeah, Oregon. Yeah, I think it's the beaver.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with it's either the beaver or the moose. I'll go with beaver because the bee is Utah and the bear is California.
Zidler says the moose sounds Canadian. Lepeau says a
No,
bee.
we have moose in the states. They do
Yes,
exist
we
here.
do. Ziller says beaver. Moose and beaver are Canadians.
We have both of those in the states, Aaron Laura.
That's funny. Um,
Alaska's in the states, Aaron Laura. Just saying.
yeah, it is. All right, let's go with the beaver. Correct. See results.
That's not terrible.
That's
Yeah.
not bad at all. That's better than I thought.
We didn't fail.
No, we didn't. Well, folks, that is it for tonight. Tonight was meant to be a short one. Notice I didn't say, "Oh, we're gonna do a short one," because every time I do, we go 2 hours plus. Um, so, thank you guys for joining us. Devil, would you like to plug anything?
Sure. Go check out the pub here in a little bit. We're gonna be arguing over to fold or not to fold.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Shut up, Sam. Then we Tuesday we are doing Get Ranked. We are back. We are doing sexiest female redheads in pop culture list.
Hey, Devil, can you add me to that? Add me to the panel for that one.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a couple people to get back to me. If they say no, then yeah, there should be space.
All right.
And then what else? Make Me a Sandwich is getting really close to being able to take off. We're just looking for one more person that we're trying to find on that. So keep a lookout for that. And yeah, and back here and back to the pub next week.
All right. Sam.
Okay, so next up, obviously, I'll be over on the pub screaming at people about their eating habits and also shoe collections. So that'll be fun. And then after that, Screaming Into the Void tomorrow afternoon is going to be interesting. We're going to have a couple of people on, and we're going to be talking about some subjects that I haven't decided yet, but there may come a point where we're just going to go Rumble and Rumble only on that one. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We might not. If I can get away with it, I'm going to keep all that shit up on YouTube. But yeah, there might come a point where we have to switch over to Rumble. So on account of the nature of some of the topics. So anyway, otherwise, yeah, if Mira goes live, I'll be over there on Exile Lions 2. I've got Metal Mondays on Adam's channel, The Renaissance Nerd, on Monday, and then right back here next week for Abyssal Musings. So we'll see you all then.
All right, wait. And for me, if Amira goes on tomorrow, I will likely be in the chat moderating. I will be releasing part 1 of the Detective Clue series. So I took last week and this week off for training, but I've been writing the scripts for the episodes. So I have the script for episode 1 and 2 already done. In fact, I've already started inputting the language for the first part. So look for that around, I would say, sometime Monday, probably Monday afternoon. I'll probably release it, and then part 2 I'll release sometime later, sometime during next week after that, and then just to look for part 3 as well. Depending on, I might release that next Thursday, depending on how far I get. But definitely 1 or 2, or 1 and parts 1 and 2, or episodes 1 and 2, excuse me, will be out next week. The first one will be out Monday afternoon sometime.
Yeah.
And
Real quick, Aaron, no, Metatron's not going to be on. You'll recognize everybody who's on. I think Divided Kingdom will be joining us. We might have Kenzo if he can make it. Shaka Zulu wants to be there. Maybe Static 2020. We'll see. We'll see who shows up and all that stuff. But no, I haven't made any headway with the asking Metatron if he wants to be on yet. So I'll let you guys know when that happens. So,
All right. Other than that, that's it. I've got nothing else. Again, thank you guys for coming through. And Sam,
yeah, remember, it could always be worse. It could be, raining lava like it does on this exoplanet they just discovered. Have a great night.